Hi, people. Good morning. Good morning. I know I don't own rights to the music playing. It's just what has inspired me today, and it's my new song for 2020 that brings me peace, healing. It's called Riley Clemens Fighting For Me. Showing up never before. Anyways, pause that. Today's message. Today's message is Jesus in the bigger story. We're going to do each day is a new beginning. And the theme for that is basically enjoy your role as a student. Because whether it is a negative lesson that comes into your life or, let me change this, or whether it is a negative situation that comes into your life, you learn positively from it. So let's keep this in mind. So today's Each Day a New Beginning says, a theme may seem to have been put aside, but it keeps returning. The same thing modulated, somewhat changed in form by Muriel Rukeyser. So basically that's saying if you don't learn your lesson with certain things, like it could be temptations with the flesh, lusting, hanging out with negative crowds, not growing. If you do not learn those lessons, you will continue going through that cycle in a different module or a different version of it with a different person in a different chapter in your life until you learn that lesson. And I am speaking from experience when it comes to that. I am speaking from experience. However, let's see. No struggle we have is really new. It's another shade of the struggle that plagued us last week or perhaps last year. And we'll stumble again and again until we learn to quit struggling. So it's like if we don't learn that lesson, we're going to stumble, we're going to fall. But what we do? We get back up. Okay, you try again. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Okay, that's what they say. That's what Leah say, right? The trying situation at work or the personality type that irritates us will always exist. So when someone is irritating you off a personality, that normally is a mirror, a reflection of a person God intricately placed in your life so that you see exactly what you do at times. So normally it's something that you have done before. Karma. I am a big believer in the energy you put out, you get back. It doesn't have to be in that season. It can be in a separate, different season. It will come back to you. So be mindful of how you treat people. Be mindful of how you treat yourself, because that's how people are going to treat you. I just learned that lesson lately. Thought I knew it before. Forgive me, y'all. I keep playing with my hair because it's wet and I'm waiting for it to dry. Thought I learned it before and it just kept coming. So anyways, personality type that irritates us is normally something about us that we're seeing in another person that we can recognize in someone else, but we didn't recognize in ourselves. And God placed that person so for us to recognize it and to help us be more mindful individuals. But when we've come to accept as, but when we've come to accept as, we'll always. Trying situation, personality type irritates us will always exist. But when we've come to accept as good, and growth enhancing all situations and all persons, we'll sense the subtle absence of struggle. So when we are aware that everything is there to help us grow, then we'll just try to perceive it or see it from a different perspective, because it's there to teach us something. And every time I meet someone, I'm like, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what I have to learn from this person. And I think today I'm mad excited. I'm so happy because I finally realized what I was supposed to learn. So in this last situation, I've talked about the person that I've yoked myself with lately, a friend I tried to get to know after healing. And he taught me exactly what I said earlier about people will treat you how you treat yourself or what you allow. People can only hurt you if you allow them to hurt you. People will only treat you a certain way if you allow that to happen. So I learned to love myself and set my standards and never settle for less. Because when I settle for less, I feel uncomfortable. I find myself in situations where I feel less of. And that's why I said before, I only find myself happy when I am fellowshipping or when I'm reading the Bible and when I'm learning something new about that. So I'm excited because I learned my lesson. I acknowledge what this person has done in my life and shown me. And what I learned from this person, Tai Tai, was that I have had standards for who I want to be my partner my whole life, or who I want to surround myself with. I've had these standards, but I've settled for less. And it's okay to set those standards. It's okay to set them high. Um, Someone will eventually meet them. Someone will want to be a part of your life bad enough to meet them. And what he taught me is to recognize what I don't want in my life. Okay? So the uncomfortable situations I found myself in trying to people please was because I allowed myself to do that. And I was so focused on trying to be such a good person to God, to all I want to hear is well done, that I realized that I was putting my needs or my wants last. So never settle for less. And I learned, thank you, Ty. I learned that I don't want certain things in my life. And why I don't want them is because of what I've experienced in my past with my family, and what I expect of myself and for myself. So, anyways, back to this. The lessons. We'll realize that the person we wouldn't tolerate has become a friend. The situation we couldn't handle is resolved forever. The lessons we need to learn. The lessons we need to learn. I'm gonna try to put the book up here so I can look at the camera. Anyway, it's okay. Y'all know I'm reading. The lessons we need to learn keep presenting themselves until we finish the homework. If we sense a struggle today, we can look at it as an assignment, one that is meant for our growth. We can remember that our struggles represent our opportunities to grow. Fortunately, the program or the Bible, because it says the program because it's Al-Anon, the book. Each day is a new beginning is about Al-Anon, addiction, struggle. And it has so many quotes out the Bible that I love it. But okay, fortunately, the Bible has given us a tutor. We have a willing teacher to help us. God, Jesus was an example. Okay? We need to move on to be open to other assignments. No problem will be too much for us to handle. God will not give you more than you can handle. If you're going through it, you can handle it. You just have to find the strength in Him, the God in you, to persevere and push through. Get through it. Go through it. It's going to help you grow as an individual. I will enjoy my role as a student today. I will be grateful for all opportunities to grow. They make possible my very special contribution in this life. The ring to the parts of a whole. We are all part of the whole body, the church, the whole body. So my contribution is to be readily and openly, willingly to learn the lessons that God has presented there for me. Okay. Today's little daily Bible verse was, hold on. For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, and my feet from stumbling. Psalms 116:8. For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, okay? And my feet from stumbling. Because every time you fall, He picks you up. Anyways, Each Day New Beginning talks about that you guys can read Joel 1-3 and Revelation 5 and Ruth, the story of Ruth, which I finally finished Judges and I'm in Ruth now, and it's just amazing. I'll probably do an interpretation of that too when I'm done. Jesus in the Bigger Story. Today's reading, Ruth 4:13-17. So y'all can read those. And Ephesians 2:10. We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, in which God prepared in advance for us to do. So ask yourself, when has God turned an ordinary situation into one of extraordinary significance for you? Well, every day of my life. He has turned it around. Any negative situation, any struggle, He has turned it around by guiding my steps, preparing my steps, allowing me to see clearly, keeping me humble and in prayer so that I am able to recognize what He's doing in my life. How has He made all moments in life something sacred and extraordinary? When you look back at all your lessons, when you look back at all your struggles, when you look back at all what you've overcome, you see how stronger you are because of those things. That's how he has made all moments something extraordinary, sacred. If you are open, awake to be able to see what he is doing in your life. You know what I mean? I was in depression, over my daughter leaving my home at 16 and a half, ending a sophomore year, beginning a junior year, or I think it's junior year. But, I was so focused on school. We agreed to disagree on that situation. I was so depressed. I felt alone. I did not put God first at that time. So a lot of things in my life went wrong, and God pulled me out of that. I was partying, bitter from that relationship not working out with her father, and I just didn't value myself. I didn't love myself, and God loved me when I couldn't love myself. He took me out of that. I even got into a relationship afterwards, which was very toxic because I had not worked on myself, because I wasn't set. I had standards I just didn't set them. I was settling for less. So he pulled me out of those things. He has done extraordinary things in the last year, and my leap of faith and my walk. Anyone who knows me knows, what I've gone through. So, little prayer, Jesus, you give eternal purpose and meaning to the most ordinary of circumstances. Help me to see all my relationships and circumstances through you. If you keep God first, if you be mindful and stay woke about what he's doing in your life, if you're mindful to know that everything is a lesson, everything is trying to pull you and push you to be the higher self, your higher self, a better version of yourself, things will flow so much easier. You will find a different perspective. You will be grateful. The what was it? The attitude of gratitude. Okay. And please read Ruth 4:13 through 17. May your servant find favor in your eyes. So this is go in peace, and may God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him. So anything you want from your life, for your life, manifest it, speak it. There is life and death in the power of the tongue. When you speak negative things will manifest. If you're only thinking about the problem, that will manifest. That will be your focus. Focus on everything good. I know it's hard. Write things down. I notice that when I write things down, things actually manifest. I set the goals and I actually get them done. Write it down. It's okay to set your standards. Jesus in the bigger story. The bigger story here is that he led by example. He wants us to love others, but also love ourselves. Love God so much that we don't put anyone else's needs before ours. If we are abundant, then we can give of ourselves. But don't give of yourself where you're sacrificing your own needs, your own, it's not even about wants, So yeah, the thing was, be grateful for all opportunities to grow. And because there is a bigger story, everyone plays a part in your role. Everyone plays a role in your life for your growth, and it's stay humble. Like, I forgive all who have done me wrong, because without them, I would not have grown into who I am now. I will not be able to see the things that I am able to see now. So with that being said, I love you guys. Smile at a stranger, love one another. And more importantly, lesson learned, love yourself. Love yourself. Treat yourself. Be good to yourself. Be responsible. Set priorities. Set a standard so high for the people that you want in your circle that they have to meet them if they want to be a part of you. Okay? And it's okay to do those things. And do it without being bitter. Don't belittle someone else just to set your standard. Let them know, if you grow and you start loving yourself, then it might be easier to have you around me, because then I know you're going to be making responsible decisions that are not going to affect me negatively. Be responsible, prioritize. Again, all the people are there placed intricately to teach you lessons, because there is a bigger story here. We need to raise the vibration of our people. Raise it. Being kindful, love, forgiveness. Mindful, kind, love, forgiveness, sharing, compassion, without allowing people to allow God to use you. Don't allow people to use you. Anyways, love y'all. Bye.